Channel 7 brings you Maury County News with BJ Fields. Brought to you over the Harmon Cable System serving Sulphur and Davis. Maury County News is sponsored by Sulphur Community Bank and the Chickasaw Telephone Company.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Maury County News. I have with me today Hugh Collette. He's the minister of the First Christian Church, president of the Lions Club, and Ministerials Alliance. He's the president there, too?
No, just vice president.
Okay. We don't want to talk to you about none of those things today. We're going to talk to him about the annual Tulsa World Bicycle Group that's coming through here on the 7th. Hugh, what involvement is the First Christian Church going to be to this thing?
Well, the Christian Church is involved in serving breakfast on Sunday morning, early, 5 o'clock till 7 o'clock. And we understand that there will be around 500 or 600 people eat breakfast and be on the road by 7:30. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those kinds of things where you get up early and do it all at once and get it over with.
Yeah, I know you've made a lot of plans. Tell us some of the things, some of the planning that has to go into this thing to feed that many people in that short a time.
Yeah, let me kind of back up a little bit, BJ, and give just a little bit more of the background. I don't know how much the public's aware of it yet, but there will be about 2,500 people here for what is called Free Will 86. These are people who ride pedal bicycles. It's not motorbikes in any sense. And they will be coming in all day Saturday, June the 7th, from all over the state. A lot of them will come in on chartered buses. A lot of them will have their families bring them and drop them off. And then some of them will just come in on their bicycles. As somebody's remarked, and I don't remember who made the comment, all they'll have is a bicycle and some money.
Yeah.
So they have told us that, in general terms, that they'll probably spend $22,000 in Sulphur on that one weekend. So we're trying to make it easy for them to spend their money and also be good hosts for them, and hope that maybe sometime in the future they'll want to come back, since it is a pretty good number of people. Of course, part of the Chamber's thinking is that if we get them here and they like the park and we do a good job, that, we'll see a lot of them as tourists. So it's called Free Will 86. I think this is the 9th year that this organization has been having an annual bike trip, and it's usually 8 or 10 days. And this year, Sulphur is actually the kickoff place. Sunday morning they leave officially and will travel to Tulsa by a roundabout route. Their first day's leg is to Atoka, 58 miles away, so it's a lot of biking. So they will be coming in all day Saturday. We have a couple of our civics club lined up to sell sandwiches and hamburgers and Cokes and fruit and so on, to give them some kind of a welcome when they first get here, and also for those civic organizations. Kiwanis Club has a trailer, and the Lions Club has a trailer, and I think Westgate New Life Church is going to have a booth. And then the Chamber of Commerce is sponsoring the big dinner on Saturday evening, and again, it's early. Mm-hmm. These people do everything kind of early. The evening dinner will be from 5 until 7 o'clock Saturday evening at the high school, and the school is cooperating with us 100% to help us raise the money for the Chamber. We actually hope, BJ, to raise $1,500 to $2,000 for the Chamber of Commerce, besides what the additional organizations raise. This group has a good reputation. They have promised us that if we make receptacles, dumpsters available where they can get to them easily enough, that we won't know that they've been here. And that's the kind of group that we think it is. They're not going to tear up the community or cause any trouble. I've read their rules, and they have some very strict rules for their participants. For example, if anybody does happen to drink too much, they get sent home, and their equipment is sent home, and they have to pay to get it home, bail themselves out. So,
well, they have the lights out at 9 o'clock, isn't it, Hugh? Don't they? They'll be staying at the football field.
Yes, right.
Don't they have the lights out policy there at 9 o'clock, and they don't want any rowdiness or anything? They get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and leave, so they want to get some sleep.
Yeah, they need their sleep for as much hard exercise as they get, and one of their rules is a curfew for themselves. Mm-hmm. They're going to be camped out at what's the old football field, the rodeo, what used to be the rodeo grounds. And they have told us that they can get about 2,000 people in that space. It's going to be wall-to-wall people.
Yeah, it is, Hugh. I saw them at Weatherford last year, and they had a baseball field.
Right.
And those tents are just, you know, just next to each other. There's a big cliff there, and they was plumb up against that cliff.
Yeah, right. And then if there's any kind of an overflow, they'll be in the outfield of what's now our baseball field and part of the old football field. So the evening meal, Saturday night meal, will be at the Sulphur High School cafeteria. Then the Sunday morning breakfast will be at First Christian Church. And since our building's not big enough to handle that many people, now all 2,000 people aren't going to eat at either place.
Yeah.
We're hoping to get about 25 or 30% of the people. And then, of course, the merchants and so on will, you know, absorb the rest. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view, that Saturday night is also the last night of the rodeo. So Sulphur's going to be jam-packed full of people on Saturday, June the 7th. But, you know, that's not going to be much of a conflict. There'll just be a lot of extra people here for meals. So we feel like we should have a good crowd of people at our Chamber of Commerce banquet. A lot of people are helping. We had to get food ordered and cooks and servers, and we're actually cooking a basic menu for 600 people and then having a supplemental meal that's kind of a short order cook type of thing, like just hamburgers and baked beans and stuff for an overflow if we have it. So we could, you know, possibly serve 700, 800 people.
And you've got the same type plan for Sunday morning, right, when down to church, where you can feed an egg, an omelet or something?
Yeah, it's a baked omelet sort of a thing.
And then you're going to have pancakes available if you have an overflow.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Now, on the police station, Hugh, let's clarify that for sure, where the old fire station used to be. The overflow will be able to use the old fire station across the street.
Yes, right across the street. And we'll kind of fill up that whole neighborhood, BJ. There are a couple of other places close by that have said that we can, you know, put up a table there, or people can sit on their porch or whatever. So we're going to have a pretty good crowd of people.
Looks like we are.
They say that the breakfast has more of a captive audience because there aren't that many other places available at 5 o'clock in the morning. Maybe one or two other restaurants that aren't normally open might open with that kind of crowd in there.
They really need to, probably.
Yeah.
Well, Hugh, that is on the 7th of June. That's a few weeks away.
Not many.
Yeah, when you're getting ready for that thing. I'd like to have you back in, though, in the future, and let's talk about some more of the plans as they develop and everything, if that's okay with you.
Okay, BJ, I think it's all set. We hope so. Got
Good.
A lot of people helping on it.
Hugh, we appreciate you coming by today.
Okay.
Thank you very much. If you didn't see that big weather balloon yesterday, folks, Neil got some shots of that really turned out great. That thing reached heights. Here it is there. That thing looks small, but it's about 2 football fields long, and it's they reach heights of about 135,000 feet or 25 miles with those things. This balloon left Palestine, Texas, and reached Sulphur yesterday morning. I saw it about 6 o'clock yesterday morning, and it kept drifting slowly north. It finally reached, I think it finally got up around that 135,000 feet mark, and it exploded or blew up over Dover, Oklahoma. That's up a Kingfisher, and fell to earth there. But it was bigger than it looked here. We had a plane chasing it yesterday, and we thought we could get up and get some real good shots of it, and come to find out it's a little bit higher than that plane could reach. Also, we had a fire this morning about 9 o'clock south of 7 Highway 7 over by the Chickasaw Trail. It was owned by C.W. Guthrie. He's a welder over at PGS in Mill Creek, and I think his wife works here in Sulphur at the manufacturing. They had both cities, Sulphur and Davis, responded to the fire. Sulphur beat the Davis truck by about 2 or 3 minutes, but then the park truck finally come out and helped out also. They couldn't, the time they got there, the house was, well, I was right there on the spot, so you can see how bad the house is already when the fire department arrived. All they could do is contain it. I talked to the fire chief here in Sulphur just a few minutes ago, and Carl told me that they got there, they were concerned about some buildings on the north of that, and then on the south of that there was a house real close by. They wanted to make sure that thing did not spread to the other buildings, and they were successful in doing that. The buildings north of this home here were saved, and then there was a house right south of it that they also saved. Here you can see the park truck arriving, and you can probably see right after he parks, you can see how close the house is. This is the house right south, so you can see how close that was. But anyway, they kept those houses guarded, and this contained this thing so it would not spread to the wilderness around there, because a lot of underbrush, it could have been caught on fire. But the fire stations got there real quick. Their response time was real good, and they got the fire out. The home was estimated at a $50,000 or $60,000 home, and it was total. There's no way that you can tell right now, but that house was totally lost. All they got to say was just the outbuildings. There was nothing in that house that was saved. It was a 3-bedroom home owned by C.W. Guthrie, so we can thank the fire department, though. They did not get to save Mr. Guthrie's house, but they sure saved the house to the south and the outbuildings to the north on their quick response, so we can be proud of them. I was over in the Chamber of Commerce this morning in Davis and picked up a big notice here. We've been running it on Channel 7, but Janice told us, if we would, to call this to your attention. I don't know if you've seen these over at the Chamber in Davis, and I don't even know if Neil can get a shot of that. But this is the new telephone number for the Cablevision. If you want to prescribe to Cablevision, you can call 369-2659. Janice made these up over there, and she's passing these out at the Chamber of Commerce, but there it is, and she wanted me to let everybody know that they can call that Davis number now instead of calling the Sulphur number, so we appreciate Janice helping us out on that. While we were there in Davis, Clay Shannon and I went by and visited with Jim Clemens. He's the principal over there. They're enrolling in kindergarten today, and it's a great time for all those teachers. I know they love to see those youngsters. So let's watch that interview at this time.
Clay Shannon with Channel 7 News. I'm standing here with a mighty important man this time of the year. This is our elementary principal, Mr. Jimmy Clemens. Jim, I understand you got pre-enrollment going on for kindergartners.
Right. We started this morning at 9, and we'll go till 3 today, and then from 9 to 3 tomorrow also. We'll be pre-enrolling the students that will be eligible for kindergarten next year, as well as screening them. That's a new process that's come up this year for kindergartners.
Tell us a little bit about screening, Jim.
House Bill 1466 last year stipulates that all kindergartners entering school next year, 86-87 school year, must be screened for readiness, developmental readiness, actually. And we're doing the screening this year as a pre-enrollment process instead of waiting until they get into school.
I ran into a lady in our little one down there a while ago, and looked like she was about in tears, but he didn't seem like he was concerned one way or the other. Jim, with the economic downturn like it is, what kind of projections on pre-enrollees are you projecting this year?
We expect to be down a little bit, but I don't think it'll affect us as much as some people might think. We predict that we'll have somewhere around 65 to 70 kids next year in the kindergarten. Probably pre-enroll 50 to 55. We generally do 2/3 of our enrollment. We pre-enroll them.
Is that comparable to last year?
Just about the same. This year our enrollment today, as a matter of fact, is 71. 2 years ago we pre-enrolled 60 and we ended up with 90. So it's pretty hard to project, but we can kind of get it down within 15 or 20. We're doing pretty good.
Listen, we want to thank you for sharing that information with us. This day is an important life in a lot of these kids who are beginning their first long trip through the field of education, and I'm glad that people like you are a part of it, Jim.
Well, thank you very much, Clay.
This is Clay Shannon with Jimmy Clements, elementary principal at Davis High School for Channel 7 News.
The preliminary hearing of Jim Lance, the ex-mayor of Sulphur here, was recessed yesterday. Jim was accused of misappropriation of public property, and Associate District Judge Stanley Anderson of Tishomingo recessed that yesterday. It seems that Bill Chapin, the defense attorney, had another trial set for today, so they had to postpone it. I talked to Pat Versteeg about it. He's the district attorney here, and he said that all the witnesses that have been subpoenaed, that they would call them when that hearing resumes and they need to talk to those people. They will call those witnesses, or they will have the Sheriff's Department deliver a summons to them. So we had about 22 witnesses on that hearing, and I know a lot of the people that were not called Monday are kind of undecided on what they're supposed to do, but the district attorney said he would get in touch with them, or Mr. Chaffin would get in touch with them if they wanted to testify when that hearing resumes. And at this time, we don't know for sure when it will. We'll try to find out as soon as Judge Janderson sets another date. We will pass that on immediately because there is a lot of people involved in that. Judge Janderson also said that the question is not whether the question is whether anything of value was received by Jim Lance or not. I think he'll probably try to wind that thing up in another day or two, or that was the indication that we got. So we'll keep you informed on all of that as it develops. Plus, we'll keep asking on the date, and as soon as we find out, we will publish it on Channel 7 and probably on the crawl line on Channel 7. So all you witnesses that want to watch that crawl line, you can see when that thing's going to resume. The Maury County Resources Board will meet Monday here. Debbie Williams said that would be the regular monthly meeting. They got the third Monday of each month set for those meetings, and it is scheduled to be at the Chickasaw Inn next Monday at noon. Public is invited. It's a Dutch treat, though. If you want to come and sit in on the meeting, you're more than welcome, but it is a Dutch treat, so you will have to pay for your own. While we were at Davis this morning, we went down by the Chamber of Commerce office and talked to Janice Payne about some of the upcoming activities that Davis is going to be involved in. So she told us quite a bit, and so let's just watch Janice's interview and see what all's coming up.
This is Clay Shannon with Channel 7 News. We're down here at the Chamber of Commerce visiting with Miss Janice Payne. Janice, we have some events coming up this month.
Yes, we do. We have some things that's coming up right away. First of all, we have another town meeting on Thursday at 6 o'clock over in City Hall for everyone that's interested in helping Davis grow. And then coming up in June, we have several different events. The Bathtub Derby is June the 21st, and that's going to be a whole afternoon of all kinds of fun activities. We're going to have a bunch of different kinds of contests, the shower singing and the bunch of, they're going to have helicopter rides, some different kinds of contests going on, and the bathtub races, of course. Everyone get your bathtub ready and get your wheels attached, and we're going to be racing down the main street. And this is all going to be lots of fun. This is June the 21st. And then the next weekend, on the 27th and 28th, we have the Bluegrass Festival. And this is put on by our Kiwanis Club. And they're going to have lots of local talent as well as some really well-known people here to entertain us.
Where is the Bluegrass Festival going to take place? Do you know?
It's going to be in the city park.
Where it's always been, down behind Sooner's Food Store.
Yes, that's correct.
Listen, I want to know about that Hairy Legs contest. Could you and I both enter that thing?
Well, I don't know. We might. We can see. Last year, someone won with a little bit of fake help, but we'll see how that goes. It's all set up for lots of fun and laughs.
I don't mind the hairy legs. It's the hairy heads that worry me. Well, Janice, we want to express appreciation to you, not only from Channel 7, but for our community. We're extremely proud to have you working down here at the Chamber. You do a great job for our community.
Thank you very much. I enjoy it.
Miss Janice Payne, Chamber of Commerce Secretary, Clay Shannon, Channel 7 News here in Davis.
Thank you, Janice. We've got an interview set up tomorrow with the Chamber of Commerce president over there, Tony Shebeck. He's going to bring us up to date on some other items that's going to be of importance there in Davis. Plus, we've got an interview set up with one of the band booster president that's going to talk to us about that softball tournament that Janice and Clay was talking about. They're going to give us some more information on that. That meeting that was scheduled by SODA, the Southern Oklahoma Development Authority, was postponed from the 15th until the 22nd. Everybody in these counties is trying to watch that pretty close because they are going to come out with that proposed self-insurance program just for this Southern Oklahoma Development Association. It should be a lot cheaper on everybody concerned, and we will get more coverage at that. Mickey Webb, the city manager here in Sulphur, has got some literature on that. He's going to try to talk to Milton Murphy about some of the aspects of that, and maybe I can get Mickey in prior to the May 22nd. We'll go over a few things on that insurance prior to Mickey attending that meeting. The old Fullerton building was hit by lightning the other day, as everybody knows. We had a crew over here yesterday afternoon tearing down the old chimney that was hit. we've had this alley blocked off between Mayo's and the bank here for a few days, and it was getting to be quite a bother. Even the trash trucks couldn't get through the alley because those bricks were just hanging up there. So we've got that taken care of. The blockades are down now, and the alley's cleaned up, so anybody wanting to use that, it's safe again, as safe as it was before the lightning hit that building, because that's what was holding it up. Those bricks on that chimney part of that old building right there were just hanging. It was getting awful close, might fall and hurt someone. I got Pat Versteeg, the district attorney of Murray County, is going to be live with me Friday. Pat touched on this once before when he was here with me. The Arbuckle Child Abuse Prevention Council will have their public meeting on May the 19th. That's next Monday out at the Fair Barn starting at 7 p.m. Now that date and time has been confirmed. It is 7 p.m. that thing takes place. They've got a lady named Dr. Fulton coming from Perry, Oklahoma. She's with the University of Oklahoma, I think, or OSU, one of those universities, but she's on her own now as a child prevention program. She will be the guest speaker there. I've been in touch with Pat, and maybe we can get Miss Fulton in the studio here, and we'll talk to her live with you if we possibly can that day. But plan on attending that. They're asking everybody in Murray County to attend that child abuse meeting at the Fair Barn between Sulphur and Davis. That will be on the 19th. That's next Monday at 7 p.m., and that is confirmed at 7 p.m. Also, the hospital has asked us to remind everybody that they are open 24 hours a day now in the emergency room. They say that during the weekends, that's the high accident time, and they've made a decision now to keep a doctor and the nurses on duty continuously 24 hours a day from 6 p.m. Friday night until 6 p.m. Sunday night. So keep that on your mind, folks. If you do have an emergency, you can get treatment there at the Arbuckle Memorial Hospital, and you don't have to go all the way to Ardmore. So that's a good piece of news, and I know they're doing a great job out there, so we want to help them all we can. Folks, that's it for this newscast. We got a lot of things that we're covering. We're going to keep you abreast of them as it develops. So keep watching Channel 7, and we'll keep you up on all the news in Murray County. For B.J. Fields with Channel 7, good day.